Hello everyone, this is Jorge Diaz, President and Founder of Larry Jacob Internet Marketing, and I'm bringing you another episode of Defining Infusionsoft Success. Today my guest is Adrian Tobey. Adrian, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Well, we were talking a little bit about the weather. He's up in Toronto where it's cooling off, but it's raining, and we're down here in Florida where it's cooling off, which means that we're in the 80s instead of the 90s, so just a little difference in the weather.
Yeah, I still barbecue season up here, man. It's barbecue season till 0.
Better you than me, man. Anyway, so Adrian was promoting or talking about a new tool that they've developed, which I thought this is a great thing to cover here on the program. So it's called FormLifter, right?
It's called FormLift.
FormLift. So Toby, tell us how this came to be, because like a lot of other tools that we now use every day, there's an interesting story behind it.
Like the development of many of the world's great tools, it came as the result of a bunch of unhappy clients. So about 9 months ago, a bunch of our clients were unhappy in the way that leads were being entered into their Infusionsoft campaigns. So a lot of the time what people do is they have services such as Gravity Forms, ClickFunnels, Lead Pages, or some sort of API form integration that sends people to their Infusionsoft campaigns. The only issue with that is sometimes those connections are fraught with what's called API downtimes. People who opt into the form don't necessarily always make it into the campaign. And at the time of the creation of this tool, the landing page builder was not even a thought for Infusionsoft. We're not even getting it till tomorrow.
Right. So
what happened was Paul, our CEO, came over to my desk and he says, Adrian, a bunch of people are having issues. A lot of our clients are unhappy. The regular Infusionsoft web form that we usually put on people's websites, everybody's familiar with the JavaScript snippet, is limited in its styling ability and functionality, to say the least. So he says, Adrian, fix it, come up with a solution by end of day. By the end of the next week, I went back to his desk and I said, Paul, here's something that I made on my off hours. So it was a JavaScript file, pretty rudimentary, total hack job. And that was the start of FormLift. So it started out as proprietary software. We gave it to all of our clients, and the initial success that they had with it prompted further development. Eventually, we productized it. We started to give it away for free on the WordPress repository.
Okay, so it's a WordPress plugin.
It's a WordPress plugin, yes. So if you go to the WordPress repository and search either Infusionsoft or FormLift in the search bar, FormLift will come up. It's got a few reviews, 4.5 stars. One person wasn't very happy with it. I don't know what that's about. And further development issued a premium model, so there's premium options now. There's a smart link that's included with it, a smart link tool for the web forms now. There's also stuff like time sensitivity or maximum number of submissions. If you only have like 30 of a product, you can cut off submissions after 30 submissions.
Oh, nice.
It has views versus submissions, so the click or opt-in rate statistics counter, kind of just a whole bunch of nifty tools for people who aren't necessarily the most tech savvy and can't figure out things like Thrive leads or Gravity Forms, which are pretty labor intensive to set up.
Yeah, I mean, we use those to get around the problems, but I mean, if you've got a tool that makes it easy.
Exactly. So FormLift was designed for people who are not tech savvy. And it is a 5-minute setup process to basically get, if you have 30 web forms, it takes 30 seconds of web form to set up. You stick it on the page, you call it a day.
Nice, nice. So we've got this set up so that you can set your screen to share. And why don't you give us a demo of this thing? Because this is the kind of thing you really have to see it to appreciate it, right?
Sure thing. So let's get started. So first off, I'll just open up a campaign in Infusionsoft. So this tool uses the regular web form in the campaign builder. So if you have a bunch of web forms already, you don't need to change anything. Just leave them right there. If you have a contact form in a campaign somewhere, uses the exact same campaign goal. You don't have to change anything. That's the first thing to know. So let's open up the actual WordPress dashboard. So in the WordPress dashboard, you'll have a little tab here that shows up after you install the plugins called Form Lift. You can click on Add a Form, give your form a name, just call it a contact form for now, and this plugin integrates via the API with Infusionsoft, not to send leads, but so you can do the following really cool thing. So you can actually choose from a drop-down all of the forms which are currently in all of your campaigns, and I'm going to select the Form Lift contact form, which is this one right here.
So it's just using the name there, just like it would.
Just using the name there, yeah. Click on Replace Code, and just then it imported the HTML which Infusionsoft provides.
So is it bringing over the it's bringing over the unstyled?
Well, it actually brings over the styled and it cleans it, so it gets rid of all of the unnecessary HTML.
Nice.
So if you have H1 tags or images or paragraphs in that form, it'll bring all that stuff over as well.
Very nice.
And it just looks exactly like that on your web page. It gives you a shortcode, so you can click on Copy Shortcode, bring that over to a page. So you can go to All Pages, and let's bring up my Contact Us page, which is right here. Stick the shortcode in the page.
Oh, that's
click on
pretty
Preview
sweet.
Changes. And there you go. You have a contact form on your site in as little as 30 seconds.
So this blue Get in Touch is now connected up.
Yep, if I submit this form, it will go through the Infusionsoft process, taking you to the thank you page. I'll be entered into the campaign, just like the regular JavaScript snippet, except it looks like that.
Right, so it's taking advantage of whatever theme styling you have.
Well, actually, no. It's user-defined. So FormLift has a pretty intensive styling set of options. So let's actually go look at what those look like. So for the free model, which is available in the WordPress repository, you'll have access to what's called global styling, which is the styling you set for all of your FormLift-based web forms throughout your entire website. So you can change the button color, the border color, font cover, hover color, border hover color, width, border radius, padding, font styles, font size, font weight. You can do this for the input, labels, the actual form itself.
Okay, so
you
for
can customize
free, it's still
validation
very
messages.
useful, right?
Pardon?
For free, it's still very useful, right?
For free, it's extremely useful. I think I was extremely generous with the functionality that you get for free in order to help as many people as possible, because I think helping is better than selling. So there's a lot of stuff that you can change just using the free model. And this is all available in the settings panel. But for the premium, for people who are a little bit more robust in their design, or they have specific landing pages they want to use it for, if we go edit one of these forms, you unlock the form settings panel, which is form specific, so only applies to this one, and you have all of the same options to choose from for just this specific form. So if I wanted to change the button color to red, I could do that.
Right, and it doesn't affect some of the other ones.
And it doesn't affect any of the other ones, and there you can see my button's now red.
Nice.
Yeah. Beyond that, you can set your required fields, and this is one of the other things that the regular Infusionsoft forms don't do, is if I delete some of these required fields here, it does on-page validation, so it won't let you submit it. It validates phone numbers, email addresses, postal codes, first name, last name, and whether a field is required or not. It also checks for rudimentary spam. If it catches a certain number of keywords that match generic spam messages, it'll block that as well.
What about if like the name and the last name are the same?
That's a good thing that I could add. I'm going to tell you that's not in there at the moment, but
only because I have this one form on my site that's just, gosh, what a pain, and it's one of my best lead generators. Nice. This, man, I could see a lot of people putting this to use. Now, before we, when we were prepping for this, you were giving me a lot of information. Now, there's some cool features, like you were moving into optional thank you pages, things like that. So you've added some things that are way beyond what the typical form builder is going to give you, right?
Yeah. So here's one of the coolest things that FormLift does, in my opinion, is down here you have a tool called the Create Form-Based Redirects tool. And what it does is it's a self-hosted smart link. So if you're a user of Plus This or My Fusion Helper, you're familiar with the smart link where you can redirect people based on the tags that they have or their form submissions. So this one is just for segmenting people based on what they submit on a form. So if you have a radio button selection, for example, and you want to send people to different places, then you'd be able to do that here. So what you do is you click on Create Redirect, and it will give you all of the fields that are available in this form. So there's a few hidden fields. There's first name, last name. So let's do it based on the partner's email address. And you can set is equal to, is not equal to, contains, starts with, a whole bunch of really unnecessary options, but for people who get really serious with their automation, this is a great tool.
So I could say that anybody who's submitting this with a Gmail address,
exactly,
I could send them over there.
I could set one for contains Gmail, or one that contains Hotmail, and then specify a different place to send those people.
Wow. I mean, the nice thing then, I mean, we do a lot of membership site work, so we could actually then force a tag to go on because we know they arrived at that page, or, I mean, a million things. Assigning a note, do reporting, whatever.
You can set fallback page and a default thank you page as well if you require that. So if they have neither of those, then you just send them here, or whatever that URL would be if they meet neither of those criteria. And what you do is you click on this button here, which is Copy Thank You Page URL. You go to your campaign canvas, and you paste that into the thank you page of the form here.
Oh, okay, so that's the default that you would get otherwise.
Correct.
Very nice.
And that'll take, so it's a self-hosted smart link essentially. So this will take them back to your website, do some back-end PHP magic, and then send them to the appropriate place.
Oh, that's well done. So you had mentioned earlier that you've got something for, I guess, for partners, and then you have, so you're offering like a partner pack. Is that more like an agency license? Is that the way that works?
So there are, I offer two options for free trial licenses. I offer a free trial for partners, which is 30-day, and if you're an Infusionsoft certified partner, you can get up to, or you do get 50% off any of the licensing options that I offer, which is 1 domain, 5 domains, and 10 domains. Should I come off screen share here?
Yeah, if you want.
Great. Okay.
Now we have a big Adrian again.
So 50% off for 1 domain, 5 domain, 10 domains, and you get a 30-day free trial to decide if this is actually one you want to use for you and your clients. And I have a 7-day free trial if you're not an Infusionsoft partner. And you get to try out all of the premium features that FormLift have to offer, set up some cool automation to decide whether it's for you or not. Personally, you can get pretty far on just the free version. A lot of our clients don't even use the premium version. They just use the free version because some people just don't need more.
Yeah, no. I mean, I could see putting that to use in a lot of places. We use Thrive themes, and that would be pretty cool to use that Just insert the short code instead of using their...
Yes, so the form lift itself is integrated or works with all of the major Infusionsoft plugins for WordPress, so like Memberium or iMember360 or Thrive Leads, Gravity Forms with the Infusionsoft integration. It's all compatible, highly tested. I personally use Thrive Leads with FormLift because the API downtown sometimes fails me.
Sure.
So this is kind of just like a surefire way to make sure that it works.
Wow. Well, good for you. Gosh, I thought this was going to take longer, but you've covered...
It's like I said, the FormLift was made for people who aren't like super great at the techie stuff. It's so simple. It's a 30-second setup. That's what it was built for.
But I tell you what,
to go through.
But I mean, we have a team of 6, and for me to not have my team putzing around with gravity forms, just the time savings alone justifies the price of the tool. So, time efficiency is good, whether we get the free one, and then every once in a while we may have someone that needs some of those premium features. I mean, just advice to me, you're probably giving away too much in that freemium version, but you're starting off. I think that's a great initial product. So let me know. So if people want to reach out to you and find out more about this, where do they go?
So you can just go to formlift.net. There's a contact us page, and all of my personal information is hosted there. Feel free to get in touch with me 24/7, 7 days a week. If you want to start your free trial and you're not an Infusionsoft partner, you can go to formlift.net/free trial. And if you're a partner, super simple URL, https://formlift/partners is where you're going to go.
There you go. So make sure you email me those, and I'll make sure that when we publish this program that we'll get that out there.
Fantastic. Will do.
But hey, thank you so much. I think this is just another great tool for Infusionsoft partners and Infusionsoft users to use, and I'm glad we were able to kind of let people know about it.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. I love your show. It's great. Everybody, you should definitely check out the Memberium one. It was extremely informative.
Good. Well, hey, have a good one.
You too.